as I've mentioned to you guys in numerous other videos, don't jump to conclusions when you see a female's picture, especially a young female's picture, on a homicide report on one of these pages that post the homicide victims. I always read the comments and I always see people jumping straight to the conclusion that she was totally innocent and, whoever killed her must have just been on like some complete bullcrap. Now, killing obviously is always foul, but that in Chicago is a very complicated issue, okay? Getting on to some of the reasons why females get killed. And this, I'm putting them in order, but this is not necessarily like set in stone as far as the order for how common each one of these are. The first one, setting guys up, okay? And this is probably the biggest. If you set somebody up, female set somebody up, that's an automatic like death sentence, right, in the streets. I mean, they're gonna slide on her. And what do I mean by set up? Discussing beforehand with gang members or with anybody a murder plot, right, against somebody else. Then, pretending like she's trying to link up with the guy, link up with him, then send a quick text to the ops or whoever it is. They slide, okay? And now a lot of females that haven't done that have been killed just off suspicion of doing that, or at least it seems that way, because a lot of times some of these females actually, aren't on that. They're just there, and they assume that she must have been the one to give the drop. So, I mean, the fact that goes on is giving, like, a lot of these innocent females putting targets on their back, too. But that's probably that's the most common reason I see. The second most common is kicking back, like gifts or money from the side dude that she's got to her main guy. Now, this is not gang related stuff, guys. This has happened to personally. So, he'll be giving her gifts, he'll be giving her money, spending all this, stuff on her, buying her all this stuff, and she's giving it to this dude who, she's in on this with, like, who she really likes, that he doesn't even know about. Right? So she's basically using him as a lick, like the side dude as a lick. When he finally finds out about that, then he wants to slide. And I've seen that happen. And matter of fact, the last time I saw that happen, the guy the female, she was doing this, but the guy who she was kicking the stuff back to, he was like a real dude. So he told the other guy, he's like, man, why are you letting her play like that? She's giving all that stuff to me. And he offered to take him to the store to return all the stuff to get the money back, because I don't know, but he was real about it. But yeah, the guy wanted to slide on her. I actually had to talk him out of it. Yeah, okay, so that's another reason. The third most common reason is dropping location when it's not like a planned setup. She just sees the guy someplace, like, and this can happen a lot at parties, at clubs. I had put a screenshot up about probably 3-4 years ago of a girl dropping a gang member's location. I won't say his name here, but some of you guys who are following me on Instagram probably remember this. I screenshotted it. She said this guy's right over here sitting in the car on this and this block. Go get him. Okay, and she was dropping this for his ops, like right on social media. Now, she might not have even known the guy that she was dropping the location for, but she just sees him. He was a well-known, famous guy, partially because of me, which I regret now. But yeah, so she sees him over there, recognizes him, and then boom, goes on her little app, puts his life immediately at risk. So if you're known in Chicago, you got to, obviously watch out everywhere, because just some female that you don't even know might spot you and then just tell everybody about it, and then she's got followers who are into it with you. Next reason after that, robberies, just straight up the females robbing you. And this is not them setting you up for guys to do it or anything like that. This is the females straight up robbing you. They're doing this a lot now, man. And I made a video about those females that were drugging guys, like giving guys those date rape drugs, letting them pass out and then taking all their stuff. Or just taking stuff when you're just, not looking. That's another very common reason. Then after that, you got the love triangles. She's just messing around with another dude. Relationship stuff. I see that all the time. Not as common as the setup things, for that to lead to murder, because typically that just involves like anybody that's not, willing to go to that extent. But that type of thing, the love triangle thing, big time happens a lot. Guys kill each other over females, and then they're both, one of them's locked up, the other one's dead, and then she's off with somebody else, and it's just a complete waste. Next most common after that, they're just hanging with gang members. They're just dating gang members, and they're just in the way. And when it's his time, it's her time. If she gets caught with him when the ops come through, they're not waiting until she gets out of the way. She gets hit with him. That's an extremely common one. After that, she might be the target. She's dating a gang member. She's not really involved, but she still starts, doing some of the stuff that he does, dissing the ops and stuff like that on her social media. So she's on Instagram dropping whoever he drops, because she's in love with him, and then she gets targeted and the heat comes at her. Another common reason is that she gets killed by another female over a boy. And this is pretty common too. Well, I wouldn't say common, but any age really, man. I've seen it happen all the way as young as, I think the youngest I saw was like 13, 14. Girl killed another over a boy. They'll come to blows all the time over that. But when it escalates to shooting, I would say that you see it here and there. And then after that, this is the one that gets the most attention, is when she's one of the trigger people for the gang, and there's some famous cases of this. She's the one sliding, she might even be teaching the guys how to shoot, getting looked up to by them. And I've seen this across all races of gangs, man. It's like gang banging harder than the guys. I mean, it's crazy, man. And sometimes just criminals in general, they might not be like gang affiliated, the females, but they start making money doing crime, and they just go super, super hard at it. Getting respect from men, all this kind of thing. Like, I could see that would be an enormous lure. So, they do that, and then they get taken out just like any other op. And then last but not least, snitching. She might have been a witness to a crime or something. So, the community a lot of times gets basically terrorized by these guys, because these are not gang affiliated people, these females that are like witnessing these crimes, but yet they get expected to live by the same code that those gang members live by. That's the way it goes, and they lose their lives over this stuff. So if you guys can think of any other reasons that you guys see, that's from just living here all my life, and working in the schools and seeing a lot of the females get into it and things like that. Those are the most common reasons I see. Anyone that you guys can think of, you can put in the comment section too. But don't assume that they're always innocent. I mean, a lot of times they definitely are innocent, no question about it. But especially when you see like the real older females, like real old 70s, 80s, and then the real young females, like below teenage years. Those are almost always innocent. But just don't jump to conclusions on that, man, because you never know. You never know. Your boy Winnie C report. I'm out.